Hi guys. All right, so this is Judo Surveys once again. If you're stumbling on my YouTube channel, please kindly like, share, and subscribe so you get notified each time I get to post a video. All right, so today I will just take you to one of my accounts, one of my students' top survey accounts, and I'll just show you basically how I answer questions on my survey. So sometimes people get to ask, how do you answer questions? So I'll be showing you how to answer questions. So I've connected, I've turned on my VPN or my proxy. I've loaded my proxy. And this is it. I've refreshed. This is it. My VPN is my proxy is a residential type proxy, and it's a residential type proxy, and my ISP is Virgin Media, which is very important. Your ISP type is very important. Let's check the fraud score. The fraud score. The fraud score is Let's check the fraud score. The fraud score is 0. It's 2. Sorry, rather. The fraud score is 2. So which means that it is very good and it is very fair to use. All right, so sometimes you can get as fraud score as high as 10. Yes, from my observation, right, you can get a fraud score of about 10. You can still use it for a survey and there's no problem, right? But usually where the problem comes, I've even used the fraud score of 15 on one of my accounts and nothing happened. The account is still active today. Usually where the problem comes from is not completely just about the fraud score. The fraud score is important also. Where the issue comes from is, has this IP been reported? That's the problem. Has the IP been reported by survey platforms? Has it been reported? If it has been reported, if it has been blacklisted, that is where the issue is. It can even be true fraud score, but if it has been reported by survey platform, like so many persons have used it and the survey platform have blacklisted it. Some of these survey platform, they are like a network. Cash, Top, Prime, and the rest of them, they are like a network. So it's like they are synced to the same server. So when an IP has been reported, if you try to use that IP for all those sister things, your account will still have problem. You understand? When you try to use it for certain kind of survey, you see that the fraud score is low, but you're still having problem. It may have been reported. So that's why we try as much as possible to not use IPs that so many persons are using, just for the fear that hope it has not been reported by that survey platform, or hope it has not been over captured by that survey platform. It has been over captured by that survey platform, they'll automatically just put that IP on ban. You know why? Because they don't want response from just a single place, a single person, a single area, a single family. They want response cut across everywhere, so they can get the best of the best response. People in this area can give response because of their environment here. Their response will be different from people in the southern part, people in the northern part. So if you're running a survey platform and only people from the north are giving response, you'll be getting limited quality of response. So you want situation whereby people would give you response from both south, from both north, and the rest of it. So this is how this survey platform works. That's why sometimes when you create some account and you say you are from the southern part, they may just tell you you cannot create account at this time, or the survey is not a good fit. You know why? Because maybe they must have gotten enough response from the south and they no longer need response from the south. So they blocked anything coming from the south. They want to hear from people from the north. So all these are factors you need to consider. So and then one thing I've observed with IPs is usually the main problem of an IP is when you are starting an account. That's when the main problem of an IP is. That's when, if your IP is not strong, is not good, is not the best, is not clean, you would have problems starting an account, creating it, getting the account to withdraw. That's the hardest. But once you are able to have withdrawn, most of all these platform, their security just goes down. Once you are able to withdraw, the security goes down. Yeah, it does. The security goes down, that you can even share one proxy on two accounts, like Heycash, for example. Let me give typically Heycash for example. I have Heycash, my cousin has Heycash. He's very busy right now, so I logged in his Heycash on my phone just to check his surveys once in a while to keep it active, to keep the account active. Okay, once in a while, not like I'm even very busy to even do it, but to just check it once in a while to keep it active. I might just make $1 to just keep it active, right? I use the same proxy for both my account and both his account. Until today, it's still active. You know why? The IP I'm using for my cousin's account and his own have not or is not blacklisted by survey platforms, and we have already withdrawn from that account. Yes, we are both withdrawn. So the security system now are a bit relaxed for an account that has already withdrawn. It is before you withdraw, that's when you see the hell. That's when all the security system will check everything you're doing. It's usually AI, automated system. That's when you should check everything, your proxy quality, your number, your everything. But once you've withdrawn, it becomes lesser. This does not mean that I can go and pick any IP and start using on an account. If you just go and pick another IP that will just trigger anything, it is gone. The account will just, before you know it, to be shadow banned. It's just gonna go. Okay, so it's an IP that I bought, so I can use it for my cousin's account. I can, because we have already withdrawn already, so we have passed a particular level. But an IP that I used to start to create a Hcash to withdrawal, you use that IP, created a Hcash, you withdrew with that IP. There's a high possibility that that IP has been pinned to that Hcash. If you come to want to create another Hcash with that IP, your chances of getting a shadow band is 90%. You know why? They've captured that IP on that Hcash. So if you want to create another fresh Hcash, you may need another IP. But that IP that they have captured on that other Hcash, your first Hcash, you can still use it to run another Hcash, but another Hcash that had already passed withdrawal. That one has passed withdrawal, the security are now relaxed, you can use it. But to say you are using that IP that you have already used for one, started one till the finish, to now create a new one again, put number, verify, chances that it will survive is very, very slim. Unlock do that a lot. The IP you use in creating an account, you can't use that IP to create an account again. You can't use that network from that particular network connection. They won't allow you to create an account. If you think I'm lying, you can go and try it. But once you have created the account, you have signed in, you can even use one IP to be accessing two accounts and you don't have an issue. I'm saying it because I've done it. There was a time I had to unlock. I used two IPs. The same IP I was accessing one, the same time I was doing the other one. So that's by the way. So so this morning I want to just show you guys how, for some people who are asking how I answer my survey questions. This is it. So this is my ISP. My ISP is Virgin Media. Virgin Media is big, it's popular, so it's okay. Yes, we go for the big ISPs. The reason is because when you go for big ISPs, they have the network capacity to bypass certain limitation. All right, there are certain limitations survey platform usually put on some of their sites. So, but when you use big ISPs, they usually have that network capacity to bypass it, and you're good. If you don't use a big ISP, the next thing to show you is VPN detected. That's what it should show you. And the next thing, you cannot do the survey. So you can see my region here is UK, so I am good to go. I want to check a UK account. So here my UK type is residential, so always check. Some can show you what's it called, some can show you VPN connection. Please don't go with VPN. When you see a VPN hosted connection here, don't use it. Yes, there are some survey sites that you can use it and it will go well, but there are other lots of survey sites that if you use it, it's not going to go well. When there's a VPN connection showing here, it means this network has been this network has been is very protected. That's what it means. You're being routed through a VPN. You are being routed through a VPN, and VPN services come with high lots of encryption. Yes, that's the word. I've been trying to remember that word. VPN connection come with lots of high risk of encryption. VPN encrypts everything. It even tries to want to even hide your real location. Like, it hides so much that the survey platform don't even like they want to know these things about you. They want to know your location. They want to have history of your cache file as you're accessing them, so that they'll get the best response they need. Right, all these survey platforms, they need all these things to really get good data. So but when you're accessing them with a location that is showing VPN here, when it's showing VPN here, it means there is almost relatively nothing about some basic information, internet information you're giving them. There's basically nothing. So, and they don't want that. Automatically self, when most of time, depending on the platform, depending on the security they set, once you just access them with something that says VPN network, it will just show you VPN detected. It will never allow you to, not because the VPN network is bad or something, because they don't want VPN connection. They don't want it, because you will not even give them the kind of because the certain information that they want to get from the back, some cache file stuff and all this stuff, this VPN connection will be protecting it. So that's that about that. So it's not the best, but for some service site it will go. Yes, for some service site it will go. Okay, for some service site it will go, but not for all. So to just be on the safe side, when you see a VPN connection like this, just avoid it. But if you want to try, give it a try or something, you can. Then the next is just ensure it is residential, it is business. Business is okay. It is business, or it is business, residential, or it is wireless. I've already explained what wireless means. When you see wireless, it means you are connected to like a hotspot there, like a cafe or something, or a free government hotspot. That's what you're connected to on the street or somewhere, or close to a mall. That's what it means when you're connected. When you see wireless, when you see residential, it means around homes. You're connected to a network, maybe inside a home. When you see business, business means you are connected to a network, a business network, like for a complex, like for a company. You know, when you go to companies, you see them, they have lots of computers, so they have their own internet that connects all of their computer. And you can even see some of those companies, there are restrictions that they give to their network. Sometimes they will say if you're working here, you'll be able to access certain sites, you may not be able to access certain blah 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 blah. Once you pick any of their computer, it is connected to the internet. So when you see business here, that's what it literally means. You are connected to a kind of network that is associated with industries where they have all those plenty computers, they loop them, so you are one of those computers. So that's what it means. So let's get straight right at it. Without further ado, let me just open my Hey Cache. Let me open my one of my top surveys. It's just basically for classes and all that. I don't really do it much. Don't really do it much. So let's see. Okay. I think there's still one, there's still 0.28 pounds here. Alright, so if you see on this account, right? On this account, let me just go to cash out. Okay, 70 pounds. 70 pounds have been made on this account. And these accounts, I don't take service regularly on this account. Sometimes I go 3 days, 4 days, I don't even do anything. What I just do is come make £1 and I go and keep it active. I come back, do surveys so that I'll learn, do surveys so that I'll encounter new things, so that I'll have what to teach. I'll have first-hand experience. When somebody is having issue and you ask me, I should have already experienced what you are talking about, so I can give you the best information. That's what I use most of this account for, to really keep getting informed, so that I can really get to explain to most of my students when they have issue. So this is the account. Let me even see the last time I withdrew something from this account. Okay, the last time I withdrew was 23rd July. That was the last time I withdrew. 23rd July was the last time I withdrew from this account. And then before 23rd, I withdrew on the 22nd. I withdrew on the 2nd again. Okay, no, that was a screen out. Oh, okay, sorry, this is survey, sorry. Reward transaction, that's survey. Okay, yes, this is it. So the last time I withdrew on this account was on 20th July, £1. And then on 18th July, another £1. 18th July, another £1. On 17th July, £2. Okay. So I think some of these transactions, if I wasn't even the one who did it, I think one of my students has access to this account, so he does it. So that was the last time. So I'll just come, make £1, keep it active. I think this one on 20th July was the one that did it. I realized I never checked this account for a while, so I just came in, made that £1, and I go. If I stay on this account in a day, only just this account, in less than few hours in a day, I should be able to pull out £3. Then I'll leave it, go back to another account if I stay on it for a day. So and that it also depends on the quality of surveys available at that point in time. Yes, the quality of surveys at that point in time. There are periods of the season where there are lots of surveys, there are lots of contracts. There are also periods where there are no more surveys. Your location you use also determines sometimes the quality of surveys you see. Yes, the location you use determine the quality of survey, determine the value of the survey you use, like the value of the amount you use, and they would show to you on your dashboard. So let's check. Let's check my dashboard. So look at what we have here. The values on this account is very, very poor. The values on this account, I'm seeing 0.005, 0.004. The values on this account is very, very poor. 0.26, yes, it's better. 0.23, 0.07. I have one of my old account, but somebody else is using that. Okay, 0.02, 0.33, 0.04, 0. Somebody else is using that. All right, somebody else is using that account. That account, you would hardly see 0.04. You'll be seeing 1 point something, 0.95, 0.8, 0.8. But for this account, is a pretty less for this account. Okay, so another thing you should check is when you're answering, when you want to pick a survey, another thing you should check is the what is the rating. Check what is the rating, the star. It shows if a lot and the percentage success of the account, how successful has it been for people taking the survey. See this one that is 5 minutes, 0.03. See the success is a 5/5. It means almost everybody that took it passed it. This one that is 12 minutes also, it said almost everybody that took it passed it. Okay, so sometimes this is how I assess and I analyze the success I'll gain. And then I also check the time. What is the reward? 0.05, 10 minutes. Is it worth it? I check all these things. Is it worth it for me to spend 10 minutes to answer a question? Is it worth it? So I look for some of the best, and the ones that are at the top here, they meet your demographic best, like they suit your demographic best. But when you go down, when you tend to go down, some of the ones down may not really fit your demographic, but they can still give you an opportunity to try. If you tell them what they want to hear, then you qualify. So if I don't want to take a survey that is lengthy, that is very lengthy, because of this video is going to get very long. So let me try this one that is 0.03, that is 5 minutes. And this, the reason why I want to pick this is because of the value 0.03. See, they just uploaded another one, 0.115 minutes. They said that the success is 4.5. Right, the reason why I want to click this 0.03 is that I'm very sure that this 0.03 would even not reach up to 5 minutes because of the reward. The reward is very poor. Even this 5 minutes is just a mirage, it might not reach it. So I don't want this video to be very long. I just want to show you how I think when I answer my qualification. I said you're qualified for this survey. You're qualified, right? So this means that when you see something like this after clicking a survey, what it means is that your demographic, the age you use, the location you use already has qualified you for the survey. So we'll proceed. So now when you click proceed, it is taking you directly to the panelist. That's where it's taking you to. Panelists, in the sense that it's taking you to directly to the people who own the survey, people who are looking for response. That's what it's taking you directly to, so that you can provide your response. So let's wait for it to load. So this survey is hosted via Samplicio. So this is the name of a panel. So you should get used to knowing some of these names. The reason is because each survey panel, they have their method, they have their pattern of answering question. Now Samplicio has been redirected to Nell surveys, so it's like it has been routed back to Nell surveys. So maybe this is the origin, this is where it originated from. Okay, so now they say your opinion matters, so try to read some of these things to get an insight. So some questions may not be directly related to the message. All your answers are anonymous, it means they will not give it out. You'll be done in a few minutes. Okay, I agree, continue. So what is your gender? I am male. What is your year of birth? My year of birth is 1970. That's what I'm using for this account. Each time they ask me, this is what I use. I am male. I'm 1970. Where do you live in the UK? I live in Southwest in UK. Every time I live in Southwest. Where do you live? I stay in city. Okay. What is the highest level of educational this thing? I usually use master's or bachelor's degree. I use anyone, so either master's or bachelor's degree. So I'll go on master's here. They said, are you a parent or guardian of any of the following? I have a 5-year-old child, and I also have a 17. That's what I choose. You always need a child below 5 and a child below around 17. So this is what I use each time. Next, we will ask you a few questions about different technology, blah, 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 blah. Which of the following companies have you heard of before today? Please select. I've heard of Apple, Google, Amazon, this, Meta. I have heard of all of them. Which of the following companies' product or services have you used in the last month? Apple, Google, Amazon, this, blah, blah, blah. Now, sometimes when they ask you a question like this, be careful. Think straight. They may want to ask you about a particular product. And among all this now, you don't know which one they want to ask you about. So sometimes I choose all, because if you don't choose the one they want to ask you about, they might just disqualify you. But this now, I'll be choosing all. But there are some times that they want to ask you about a product you have not used. So you just try to be smart to know what they want. Is it a product you have used or a product you have not used, so that they'll not disqualify you. For now, I'm going with all. Let's see how it goes. Okay, how confident or uncomfortable are you with how Meta uses information about blah 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 blah? Let's say somewhat comfortable. It means they're asking about Meta now. How comfortable which are you when Meta uses a product? I'm comfortable. Which of the following Meta apps or products have you used in the past 16? Messenger, Thread, blah blah blah. I'll use all. Maybe they want to talk about Ray-Ban Meta glasses. I'll use all. Maybe they want to talk about something. Maybe they even want to talk about this glass. Maybe they want to ask about my experience. Meta Quest. So I'll just go with all. Let's see. Where would you place yourself on the political spectrum? I'll just say 4 at the center. Please indicate how closely you follow news. Fairly close. Indicate how closely you follow policy. Fairly close. How interested are you? How interested are you in the impact of technology in society? Somewhat interested. They said, which of the following category below best represents your total household income? Yes, my total household income is £200,000, so I would go with this above 200. So, which of the following AI assistants have you ever used? Please select other apply. Gemini. I'll just select a lot. I'll select a lot. That's how I do it. I select almost a lot. I'll check, but sometimes you could have a screener. Right? So when you check if there's a screener, you untick it. A screener is something that is completely out of it. It's not in the same line. So you try to remove it. If not, they'll screen you out. They'll just say you're not paying attention. That's why you're ticking down. So I've checked all these AI assistants, so I'll pick them. The reason why I pick everything here is sometimes you don't know what they want to ask. When you go and pick only one, you may not pick what they want, and then they'll screen you out. This is the idea. This is how I go into it. They said, you have been randomly assigned to answer questions about Meta, the company that owns the app, Facebook, blah 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 blah. You see now, you have been randomly assigned to to talk about Meta. So if you notice, I chose Meta from the beginning. If you had not chosen anything that has to do with Meta, there's a possibility you may not. They said randomly, but there's a possibility they may not select you if you had not done anything. Okay, they said, please read the following screens and blah blah blah. Let's go. Notification. Okay, this looks like Facebook or something. Okay, next. Allow, what is this now? What should you know? On November 18, we're making some changes. Okay, prioritizing improving Meta AI. I said, what was the main message being communicated in the screen you just read, right? Yes, I glanced through it sharply. What I saw there is about Meta. Is about Meta improvements, meta improvements in the next few months, to come. Now, this is not an elaborate way to explain, right? Because I'm trying to be very fast so that this video will not be very long, because when it gets very long, some of you said will not want to watch it. So I did not really stay long to really read and get to know what that video was talking about. So, but that's how to go about it. When you show an image like that, go through it, have an understanding of what the image is saying, then you have what to write, right? Once you write it, then you click next. But they said, what was the main message being communicated on the screen you just read? Please provide as much detail as possible. Meta improvement in the next few months to come. It's a Facebook interface. Okay, but I'll just stop here. But you already know what I'm trying to say. So basically, just read it very well, know what it's talking about, then you can answer appropriately. I didn't really look at it very well, but I know it's what's it called? It's about improvements that needs to be made, new regulatory to come on Facebook regulations, on Facebook regulations. So please, when it's your time, take a look at it very well so you answer appropriately. What question, if any, do you have about what you just read? How would this regulation impact creators? How will it impact creators? Do you have a positive or negative? Slightly positive. Which of the following meta app do you think AI changes apply to? I can't really remember. I seriously can't remember. But I think it's Facebook. The app looks like Facebook app, right? So let me go with Facebook. That Facebook or Messenger, something. I think one of them. Let me just go with it. What would you say that Meta best days are ahead? Best days are ahead, of course. Best day ahead. Slightly positive. How do you trust a lot? Same control. Some control rather. Very comfortable. Much better. Very interested. Understand somewhat. Understand. Very transparent. Quite likely. Okay, which of the following Meta apps are or product would you likely use in the next 30 days? I'll just choose all. No Thread, no Instagram. I'll just go with Messenger, WhatsApp, Meta Glass. I'll just go with this. Most likely use. Regulate Meta much more closely than today. If you were to see the notification when you open Facebook or Instagram app, what would you do? Okay, I'll go with tap to learn more. Here is another image you may or may not have seen earlier. If you were given the option, which would you choose? Allow Meta to use posts and comments that are in public. Don't allow Meta to use posts and comments that are in public. So I'll just say don't allow Meta to use posts and comments that are in public. So do you have any feedback? And then they said it is optional. So since they said it is optional, I don't want to give any feedback, and I'll submit. Okay, I'll submit. So after submitting, I'll just see what it does. I've come to the end of this survey. Right? So when you get to certain place, they ask you which of the following do you know, which of the following have you done. Try to select as much as you can. So it might be one of them, and at the same time, try not to fail. Try not to select a response that is Try not to select a response that is a screener, a response that is a security. Why is this thing taking time to load? Why is it taking time to load? Why is it taking time to load? Do you have any other feedback? Okay, I enjoyed the survey. It was worth the time, but normally I wouldn't even drop anything because it's optional. Then let me submit. Let me see. I don't know why it was not submitting the other time. Okay, it is now submitting. Maybe my proxy network is alright, so it has submitted. So for my 21 it has gone to 3.1, so I made a 0.03 in this survey. I made 0.03 in this survey, so I can decide to rate them. This survey, I took it because I wanted to take something that will be very short for this class. Normally, I won't come and be doing this 0.03. It will take you a long time to accumulate. There are other bigger points. Most likely, I would rather try out the 0.26. Okay, I'd rather try out this 0.26, but I don't want to. You said you're qualified. It means that my profile demographic has already qualified me. So I'll use the same approach. When they ask you which have you done, try to choose as much as possible. Also be careful. Check for any screener. Sometimes they can ask you, have you ever been to the moon? Of course, you will say no. When you go and select something like that, they'll screen you out. So guys, I'll just stop here. Please let me not make this video too long. If I had the time, I would have done more. See, this is even 31 minutes already. My God, this is too long. So I have to stop here, guys. I have to. If I continue, people will not watch it to the end. So what's the point? So let me just stop here.